What is going on, everybody? Mystery Schooler, we are back again. Last stream crashed, but hey, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, right? I don't think Thoth let the lag stop him, huh? You guys think Thoth had lag problems too, or what? Well, I'll bet if he did that, he'd keep going too. So we're going to keep going, right? That's right. We're going to jump right back into it. Now, the history of the tablets translated in the following pages is strange and beyond the belief of modern scientists. Their antiquity is stupendous, dating back some 36,000 years BC. The writer is Thoth, an Atlantean priest king who founded a colony in ancient Egypt after the sinking of the mother country. So this is post deluge, guys. Post flood. He was the builder of the Great Pyramid of Giza, erroneously attributed to Cheops. See the Great Pyramid by Doriel. In it, he incorporated his knowledge of the ancient wisdom and also securely secreted records and instruments of ancient Atlantis. For some 16,000 years, he ruled the ancient race of Egypt, from approximately 50k BC to 36k BC. At that time, the ancient barbarous race among which he and his followers had settled had been raised to a high degree of civilization. Thoth was an immortal, that is, he had conquered death, passing only when he willed, and even then not through death. Sound familiar, guys? His vast wisdom made him ruler over the various Atlantean colonies, including the ones in South and Central America. Now that's interesting because you look at the lore, the religion, mythology, whatever you want to call it, in those areas, the Maya, Viracocha is very similar to this description of Thoth, what they were doing. That's why the Spaniards were greeted kindly at first. The Mayas thought that the Viracocha were returning to give them more wisdom or something, They were like, hell yeah. Unfortunately, it was Cortez and those douchers. Now, when the time came for Thoth to leave Egypt, he erected the Great Pyramids over the entrance to the Great Halls of Amenti, placed in it his secret records, and appointed guards for his secrets from among the highest of his people. In later times, the descendants of these guards became the pyramid priests. That's interesting. The priests' fathers, or the priests came from the guards. They went from warriors to religious monks or whatever, by which Thoth was deified as the god of wisdom, the recorder by those in the age of darkness which followed his passing. In legend, the halls of Amenti became the underworld, the halls of the gods, where the soul passed after death for judgment. And I thought that was really familiar to hell from Norse mythology with one L, which is a cold place. It also kind of reminds me of hell from Abrahamic religions with two L's, which is a warm place. It kind of reminds me of Hades in Greek mythology. Tartarus, all that place, all those areas. Yeah, also reminds me of the abyss, the below, they talk about in Egyptian mythology too. This is the abyss, this is the below we're in, guys. During later ages, the ego of Thoth passed into the bodies of men in the manner described in the tablets. As such, he incarnated 3 times, in his last being known as Hermes the Thrice-Born. In this incarnation, he left the writings known to modern occultists as the Emerald Tablets, a later and far lesser exposition of the ancient mysteries. Wow. The tablets translated in this work are 10, which were left in the Great Pyramid in the custody of the pyramid priests. The 10 are divided into 13 parts for the sake of convenience. The last two are so great and far-reaching in their import that at present it is forbidden to release them to the world at large. However, in those contained herein are secrets which will prove of inestimable value to the serious student. They should be read not once, but 100 times, for only thus can the true meaning be revealed. A casual reading will give glimpses of beauty, but more intensive study will open avenues of wisdom to the seeker. Well, there you have it, guys. You gotta really analyze this stuff. You can't just give it a casual glance, and that's okay. But you're not gonna get the gist of it, right? You know how many times I watch Harry Potter, right? I know that freaking story already. Let's go check back on the chat. All right, we got Jess Palmer, Max Vision. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate you guys. Sorry for the lag earlier. I hope everything's coming through okay. Now, a word as to how these mighty secrets came to be revealed to modern man after being hidden for so long. Some 1300 years BC, Egypt, the ancient Chem, was in turmoil, and many delegations of priests were sent to other parts of the world. Among these were some of the pyramid priests who carried with them the emerald tablets as a talisman by which they could exercise authority over the less advanced priestcraft of races descended from other Atlantean colonies. The tablets were understood from legend to give the bearer authority from Thoth. So it was more than just a Bible or whatever. It was actual proof that you worked for Thoth. It was like, hey, don't mess with us, dude. We work for the light workers. It's like proof that you've been through the mystery schools. The particular group of priests bearing the tablets emigrated to South America, where they found a flourishing race, the Mayas, who remembered much of the ancient wisdom. Among these, the priests settled and remained. In the 10th century, the Mayas had thoroughly settled the Yucatan, and the tablets were placed beneath the altar of one of the great temples of the sun god. After the conquest of the Mayas by the Spaniards, the cities were abandoned, and the treasures of the temples forgotten. It's a heck of a synopsis, for a story, right? We're in the introduction, folks. It should be understood that the Great Pyramid of Egypt has been and still is a temple of initiation into the mysteries. Jesus, Solomon, Apollonius, and others were initiated there. The writer, who has a connection with the Great White Lodge, which also works through the pyramid priesthood, was instructed to recover and return to the Great Pyramid the ancient tablets. This, after adventures, which need not be detailed here, was accomplished. Before returning them, he was given permission to translate and retain a copy of the wisdom engraved on the tablets. This was done in 1925, and only now has permission been given for part to be published. Now it is expected that many will scoff. Yet the true student will read between the lines and gain wisdom. If the light is in you, the light which is engraved in these tablets will respond. Now I thought this was interesting because, like I was pointing out earlier, when you read this text, it's written out and spaced out like a song. It's like a song. And don't songs change your emotions, your feelings? You listen to a sad song all day, you're gonna probably be sad. You listen to a bunch of hardcore gangster rap, you're probably gonna want to go punch someone, right? I mean, it's just how it is. So you listen to these, and they raise your wisdom, and I'm sure it has to do with the using phonetically the sound of the Atlantean language. I don't think reading it in English would do this for you, but interesting because these guys are really strong in both hemispheres of the brain. They're in the creative side and the intellectual side, both hemispheres of the brain. So a lot of times when they make text like for wisdom, it's also music, things like that. It's interesting. The power of the spoken word, right? Now, a word is to the material aspect of the tablets. They consist of 12 tablets of emerald green, formed from a substance created through alchemical transmutation. They are imperishable, resistant to all elements and substances. In effect, the atomic and cellular structure is fixed. no change ever taking place. In this respect, they violate the material law of ionization. Upon them are engraved characters in the ancient Atlantean language, characters which respond to attuned thought waves, releasing the associated mental vibration in the mind of the reader. The tablets are fastened together with hoops of golden colored alloy suspended from a rod of the same material. So much for the material appearance. The wisdom contained therein is the foundation of the ancient mysteries. And for the one who reads with open eyes and mind, his wisdom shall be increased 100-fold. How does that sound, guys? Huh? Yeah, Meta Yarby brings up a good point. Meta Yarby says the vowel sound count, so original text, I'm assuming, would have to be a key to vibration. Yes, that's why they hide the language from us, brother. It's more than just meanings of words in their language. We've covered cymatics on this channel, but this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it quick so you guys understand. The ancient language and languages were phonetically designed with cymatic effects in mind. If you understand cymatics, their language was written with the understanding of the cymatic effect to the meaning. For example, the word heal in ancient Atlantean or whatever probably actually had healing effects, right? Now, where else do we see things like this? Spells, right? Magic, mainstream media, pop culture, right? What are spells? They're words, right? So they're vibrations created through the aether around you. Max Vision says, when we remote viewed the writing of the Emerald Tablets, we were under the Great Pyramid, and there were animal-like men writing with the golden bow and arrow. Animal-like men, that's interesting. Kind of reminds me of Harry Mary. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Harry Mary, but there's a lot of depictions of the Virgin Mary and like looking like a Bigfoot, strangely enough. Yeah, it's trippy. Look up Harry Mary, but that animal-like men riding with a golden bow, that's cool. Wow. Jess Palmer says, listen to 432 hertz. Best for you. Look up conspiracy music guru. Yeah, that I've read about that. You know, I'm a musician myself, guys, and you know, the standard tuning is 440 hertz, which is 8 above. Now, a lot of people claim, oh, this is an insignificant difference. It doesn't make a big difference. But when you look at water molecules under 440 hertz, you can see the distortion that it's too much. It makes it's too strong. The symmetrical patterns of the shapes they make look incomplete or too much, but 432 hertz stuff looks really good. Like, and some people say that's the natural resonance. That's where it's supposed to be, because they just raised it to 440 hertz for like no reason randomly. It's weird, dude. Yeah, and Jess Palmer says it depends on what you're doing. Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, that's fascinating, that whole stuff. You know, sound and the effect of sound on reality. That's really what cymatics is. Yeah, so if you guys don't know about cymatics, definitely check that out. Now, I don't know if you guys know about the legends of the Pillars of Atlantis, but this depiction in the back over here, it's like a volcano or something. But you know how I'm always telling you that these mountains and these things were actually just buildings and stuff like that for giants and things like that? Well, I think that these tablets came from information like this, from the Pillars of Atlantis. I'm not just pulling that out of my butt either. Go research it if you're interested in that rabbit hole. In the following pages, I will reveal some of the mysteries which as yet have only been touched upon lightly, either by myself or other teachers or students of truth. Man's search for understanding of the laws which regulate his life has been unending, yet always just beyond the veil which shields the higher planes from material man's vision, and truth has existed. The truth has existed. Ready to be assimilated by those who enlarge their vision by turning inward, not outward, in their search. So yeah, there you go, Max Vision. Yeah, how you were saying that this is like an internal thing. It's describing anatomy. Yeah, there you go. By turning inward, not outward in their search. In the silence of material senses lies the key to the unveiling of wisdom. That's deep, guys. One sentence right there. I'll read it again. In the silence of material senses lies the key to unveiling of wisdom. Sounds like some Hermetic principle to me, right? Guys, don't forget, Thoth is the Hermetic principle guy, okay? This is the Hermetic principle teacher, all right? He who talks does not know. He who knows does not talk. The highest knowledge is unutterable, for it exists as an entity in lanes which transcend all material worlds, words, or symbols. All symbols are but keys to doors leading to truth. And many times the door is not open because the keys seem so great that the things which are beyond it are not visible. If we can understand that all keys, all material symbols are manifestations, are but extensions of a great law and truth, we will begin to develop the vision which will enable us to penetrate beyond the veil. That's interesting. He keeps mentioning beyond the veil because we hear this. We hear this in Gnostic teachings and ancient teachings. Other people talk about this stuff. Other ascended masters, whatever you want to call them, they talk about this veil piercing through the veil. What is it exactly? Is it when you have a psychedelic experience? Is it learning that you're a soul, not a body? What is it? I don't know. Is it just knowing the truth in a world of lies? All things in all universes move according to law, and the law which regulates the movement of the planets is no more immutable than the law which regulates the material expressions of man. And don't forget, guys, planets were called wandering stars for a very long time, longer than they've been called planets. Check into that rabbit hole if you're interested. One of the greatest of all cosmic laws is that which is responsible for the formation of man as a material being. Pay attention, guys. The great aim of the mystery schools of all ages has been to reveal the workings of the law which connect man the material and man the spiritual. The connecting link between the material man and the spiritual man is the intellectual man, for the mind partakes of both the material and immaterial qualities. See, we're not learning for nothing, guys. Do you wonder why we have this spiritual connection? A lot of people don't. It's because we've made the intellectual jump first. You have to increase your intellect before you can even begin to understand. Otherwise, you try to have a spiritual understanding without any intelligence, you end up with, because God, right? Because God, everything, because God. And that's great, but, it's not really deep, and, I don't know what you're getting with that wisdom, right? No. It's much more than that. And, don't forget the Gnostics believe that you have to earn your soul. See, nowadays we believe that, everybody has a soul, right? And, I want to believe that. I really do. But, the more I examine a lot of the other humans and I see the things they just do on a daily basis with zero remorse or empathy, it's just like, do you have a soul? I'm just saying. Why did the Gnostics, Christians, believe that you had to earn the soul first? You had to earn it through wisdom. Just like Thoth's telling you right now. The intellectual man partakes of the connecting link between the material man and the spiritual man is the intellectual man, for the mind partakes of both the material and immaterial qualities. The aspirant for higher knowledge must develop the intellectual side of his nature, and so strengthen his will that is able to concentrate all powers of his being on and in the plane he desires. Wow, notice he says plane there, guys. Interesting. On the plane he desires. We gotta stay focused, guys. Is he talking about manifestation? This kind of sounds like some Manly P. Hall stuff, doesn't it? Let me check back on the chat really quick. All right, we got Isabella Live 2.0. I'm here. I just need to be blue to share you with you my files. Hey, bro, I don't have my cell phone right now, and I'm not sure how to do it on this, and I'm lagging like crazy. Isabella Live 2.0. Next live stream, I promise I'll get my cell phone out and I'll make you blue, okay, buddy? I had to take the blue away from everybody because you guys wouldn't believe it, but people are actually joining my chat because I was giving everybody moderator, right? People were actually joining my chat and kicking out all the other viewers. Can you believe that? They were timing out everybody repeatedly until they would just leave in frustration. Can you believe someone would do that? We're over here trying to read, spiritual tablets, trying to gain enlightenment and stuff. And people do that. Can you believe that shit? It's unbelievable. Anyways, gosh, that's what I'm talking about. They got us sold. What the fuck are you even doing? The great search for light, life, and love only begins on the material plane. Carried to its final goal is complete oneness with the universal consciousness. The foundation in the material is the first step. Then comes the higher goal of spiritual attainment. You see, guys, we're still on our first step here. We're just now learning in these bodies what love is and how to love and all this stuff, But and we have this, physical attainment, enlightenment, whatever, to overcome. But really, it's spiritual. The higher goal, right here, he says, the higher goal of spiritual attainment. This is the higher goal. In my opinion, that's the only thing that separates us from the animals. Is our consciousness, is our knowledge of good and evil. If we didn't have our knowledge of good and evil, we'd be just like the animals. It kind of reminds me of the fruit of life story, doesn't it? Eat from this fruit, you'll be like us, right? All right, we got 8 people watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please don't forget to hit that like button, guys. It really helps me out. Hit that like button. Let your friends know. We're trying to get a bigger crowd over here, but we're going for quality over quantity. But if you guys bring your friends are probably cool too. You get what I'm saying? So that's the kind of crowd I want. So I'm trying to build this channel through with word of mouth more than just copy and pasting my stuff in every Discord channel, blah blah blah. I'm not good at it. I don't enjoy it. Max Vision says, anyone that is a mod on my channel can only post, or I will unmod them. Yeah, I know how to do all that stuff, bro. I just how this is my second take because the stream lagged out. Like, if I try to do anything beyond this presentation, like, it just lags out. So I'm working with less technology. So bear with me, guys. I appreciate all of you, though. Thanks for being here. We're almost done. We're just doing the introduction today. And I'm going to work on tablet 1 today. These are really long, by the way, guys. So tomorrow we're going to be live around the same time. Tablet 1. Don't miss it, okay? In the following pages, I will give an interpretation of the Emerald Tablets and their secret. Hidden and esoteric meanings, concealed in the words of Thoth, are many meanings that do not appear on the surface. Light of knowledge brought to bear upon the tablets will open many new fields for thought. Read and be wise, but only if the light of your own consciousness awakens the deep-seated understanding, which is an inherent quality of the soul. Now, this is interesting. He says this, how the light of your own consciousness is an inherent quality of the soul. What does he mean by that? Well, you guys ever notice that some people are empathetic? Like, it just clicks. Like, people get empathy. Well, I always thought, because I'm one of those people, I get empathy. I always try to understand how other people feel and how my actions affect other people, how they feel, and blah, blah, blah. It seems like a common thought to me, but actually it took me a long time to realize that a lot of people don't have this empathy. It's not built into them. I don't know what it is, but they just don't give a shit about anybody else but themselves. And Thoth is saying here, basically, they're inherent qualities of the soul. We don't remember between our incarnations, but sometimes I wonder if other things stick, things beyond memories, things beyond words, things beyond places, like your ability to be empathic. Well, we're coming up to our last slide, guys. I appreciate all you guys for being here. I kind of just breezed through it because our last take, I was going to take more time, but we were having lag issues. My audio was choppy. The music wasn't playing. So we're going to go into our last slide now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tablet 1 is going to be much longer. I'm going to try to stick around. I'm going to try to make some changes so I won't lag so much. But gosh, I appreciate all you for being here again. Thanks for being patient with me. We're going to listen to a song, and then we're going to end the stream. Thanks for being here, everybody. God bless.